This seatbelt thing is so annoying. Oh, please stop. I'm Jeff, and this is my 2024 Subaru BRZ, and this is why I bought my dream car at 30 instead of a house. Look at this car, man. Look at this car. This is a dream car. If you guys say this isn't a dream car, you're probably driving a Subaru Crosstrek. Some people might say I'm having a midlife crisis, which is slightly true, but I'm also way happier than a lot of people with a 30-year mortgage. Now, I didn't really plan to do this, but I'll tell you what, my quality of life is significantly improved when I get to drive something I really do love and enjoy every single day. This just so happens to be a $30,000 car, so it's literally cheaper than a Prius and about as cheap as a Toyota Corolla. So one of the main reasons that I bought my 2024 BRZ, my dream car, before I bought a house is because it motivates me. When I wake up in the morning, I am actually excited to get into what I drive and drive it to my job. I get that to most people, a car is something that gets you from A to B, but if you like cars in the slightest, I highly recommend getting something that you are truly passionate about and truly love to drive. When you're driving around in your dream car, you basically feel like Mission Impossible Tom Cruise, you know? You feel like you are in a movie basically because people look at you differently, people want to race you, and you don't have to be totally irresponsible and childish to enjoy a car like this. If it's something you use every day, doesn't it just make sense for it to be awesome? I see all these YouTube videos about people saying, drive a beater car and you're gonna be happy. Does that make much sense to live in a giant house you can't afford but drive a beater car? Or drive a car you can afford and love and live in a reasonable sized house? When I was around 20 years old, the Scion FRS and the BRZ came out, and I thought, man, I could never get the money to pay that car off, or I could never get the money to afford a car like that. That car, I wanted it so bad. And here at 30, I have it. I don't own it, I am making payments, but my money's going towards something I really do love and truly motivates me to the point where I make a whole YouTube channel. To the point where I'm making a whole series on YouTube about my 24 BRZ. All right, and now the second main reason why I bought my dream car at 30 instead of a house is it's way less expensive than a house. Yes, you can go buy a house for $500,000, you can go buy a house for $100,000, but the reality is, this is a dream car of mine, and it is literally a third of the price of a $100,000 house, which is probably a piece of junk. A $100,000 house is probably the equivalent of a beater Dodge Journey. When you think about it like that, you can get your dream car and actually get motivated, or you can never buy your dream house unless you're an absolute maniac and a millionaire. It's far more attainable to get your dream car than it is your dream house. And isn't that a little bit motivating? It's pretty demoralizing thinking I'm never gonna get my dream house. It's always gonna be mediocre. So I'm never really gonna be that passionate about my living space. And maybe I'm a little wrong, but you can get the ideal spec car that you truly want for under $100,000. Come on guys, if you're into the supercars, that's a whole nother level. Or even the nice Mercedes I know go for almost $200,000. Let's be a little bit reasonable. I love Subarus, I'm a Subaru channel, so anyway. All right, and then the third main reason why I bought my dream car at 30 instead of a house is it's fun. Yeah, I hop in this thing and all my worries kind of go away for a little bit. You know, I'm kind of put in like a meditative, I'm kind of put in the moment with what I'm doing at the time. Every time I get in this, whether I'm driving to work or going on a lunch break or whatever it is, I'm kind of put in the moment, and I'm almost in like a meditative state when I'm driving my car because, well, first of all, I'm driving, so I'm already paying attention. But when it's a car you truly do love and you're working really hard to, you know, own and pay off, I'd love to own this. That's one of my goals, is to own this car. Oh yeah, we're here in beautiful Sedona, Arizona. I am fortunate enough to work here. But of all the reasons why I chose to buy my dream car over a house at 30 is it's fun. Is owning your dream house or a really nice house fun? No, you need a place to live. Driving should be a fun experience. It's something you do every day. You should not be worried or scared. You should be assertive and confident on the road. Another thing that I'd like to talk about is like the autonomous cars. Like in the future, that's where we're headed, is cars that drive themselves, you know? And I think that people should really be, you know, closer to their cars. They should understand their cars a little bit more, maybe get a little more in touch with the details, the specs of their car, understand what happens, you know, when you hit the throttle, understand, you know, the braking distances and stuff like that. Yeah, you don't need to be a car enthusiast, but I think, you know, if you have a car you're more excited about, you're more likely to be a better driver. My 24 BRZ is a 6-speed manual transmission and a small car, so I am kind of forced to be the best driver I can be. Right here, I'm in the midst of one of the most expensive neighborhoods probably in the country, in Sedona, Arizona, up in the hills. Beautiful mountains and everything out here. I will never probably be able to afford a house out here in Sedona, but guess what? I am able to afford a car that people, including myself, catch a second glance and are like, whoa, that's a pretty cool car. And it makes me feel good. Not because I'm a materialistic person, just because I have achieved that. And even though it's a small win for me in my life, it motivates me to go further and do more. Now, am I saying that everybody should go out when they turn 30 and buy their dream car or buy their dream car at 20? I see some of the videos on YouTube. No, I'm not absolutely saying that at all. I'm saying if you have an inclination to get a car that you want and you can afford it, get it. Don't buy a cheap car just to get ahead, just so you can buy a more expensive house. A car is a very important thing that you're gonna own. It's the second most important thing from a house. So I think you should try to think about your car a little bit more. Take care of your car. But if you are an enthusiast or you're interested in becoming an enthusiast and you like cars, I'd say pull the trigger, but don't get a Ford.